Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to our kitchen.
Hmm.
We are using new audio equipment here, so y'all need to let us know how it sounds. Is it too loud, just right? How we're sounding before I start talking a bunch. And
Any echoes?
yeah. Susie, is this your husband you were talking about? Are we lagging? I hope the Wi-Fi is okay. Okay, she said it sounds good. I hope it sounds better than it has because I don't know if y'all can see it, but I got an audio mixer now with my XLR microphones. And Susie, you should recognize these. Oh, Ellen says we're echoing.
Uh-oh. I notice sometimes when you talk, it makes noise on my side as well. So are we too close to each other?
I don't know. Is the echo distracting, Ellen? Do we need to change something? Okay, she says she don't hear an echo, so that's good.
All right.
So I'm like streaming from the camera I use to do the videos. It makes my skin look better than the other camera, but I'm happy with everything except this situation right here. I'm not too thrilled about that, but this is the best spot in our house to do this. And somebody recently left a comment asking me if we lived in a tiny house. I think it was on the Day of My Life video, and then I did a shot of of me driving at the driveway, and you could see the house.
Yeah.
And there was a comment asking if we lived in a tiny house.
It definitely looks like a tiny house,
but it's
particularly
not.
driving up to it because of the flat roof on the front. We intend to add a new porch on the front eventually. That's one of my ultimate goals. But no, we bought the house and it was small. It's not a tiny house, but it was 1,100 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And then when the time came, we added on for my mom and the place in the back. So now the cool thing is coming down the driveway, it still looks tiny, but it's actually 2,200 square feet with 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 2 kitchens.
It's
just hidden from the road.
It's an odd house. It looks really small coming up, but it's not. Hey, everybody. Hey, Marie. So I am keeping an eye out in the comments. I don't know her username, but I hope she drops in. But there's a girl that found me on TikTok. She's based off her TikToks. It looks like she's probably 18, which is the same age as my daughter. And she had a car accident in, I think she said June. And she got out of the hospital in August. And she has the same injury as me. And I saw her comment. So I told her to email me, and she did. So I'm hoping she pops in and wants to chat a little bit. But either way, I'm going to set up a Zoom with her this weekend because she said she's really struggling. And that kind of, I don't want to say I'm excited because I'm not excited about anybody being in that situation, but I'm excited that the part of the reason I started doing these videos.
The main reason you started it.
Yeah.
Was to help other people. So
that it's like I'm seeing some of what I wanted to happen. So I'm excited about that. I don't know. I just hope I can. I was thinking earlier about things to say. Well, not things to say, but like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I always want to be very careful about the things that I say because, like, she may have, or other people may have more deficits than me, and I don't want to I want to be really careful about like not rubbing my recovery.
Good fortune.
Yeah. And like, cause not everybody's going to recover as well as I have. And And I could definitely see somebody being like, well, you don't understand because you got better and I didn't, or whatever. I don't know. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Hopefully the methods of coping with the situations will be the same, despite whatever the outcome may be. Taking it day by day, hour by hour, and don't sit and hope for what's tomorrow. Let's hope what's for 8 o'clock, and then we're about 9 o'clock. Maybe that aspect of it'll help someone.
I haven't even told you this, but so I get I don't get a lot of messages and emails, but I get like a fair amount through TikTok and then Facebook and YouTube. So I think I've now connected with like 5 or 6 people who have the same injury as me, and then more that don't have the same injury, but they're like going through things and they find my videos, and so they'll message me. And so I'm getting a lot of, and I'm not complaining, but I'm getting a fair amount of trauma dumping from different, so I've got all these people that are telling me, how hard things are. And so that has been a little bit difficult because I'm not a mental health professional.
But you're a personal survivor.
Right.
You have experience.
But
that makes you more than qualified
I'm
to talk
trying
to
to
someone going through it.
Navigate a little bit.
And do it properly, I understand.
Yeah. It's slightly stressful.
Well, it's not like you're telling somebody how to live their life or how things are going to go. You can just tell them what you've been through and the experiences we had and what made it more bearable for you and us and the family. So it's all opinion, and that's the way it should be expressed.
It's kind of nice we haven't got to talk to each other on a live before.
Yeah.
We've both been staring at the computer like, somebody say something. Hey, Cassidy. I don't see her in here yet, but Susie, I don't know if you heard me, but do you recognize the Susie? It's funny because I had started an Amazon wish list when I was talking about doing a podcast, and I put some things on there, and then I ended up taking it down and like, no, I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. So I bought one of these, and then the other day I got a package in the mail, and it was 2 of the microphone stands, which was really cool. I got another gift in the mail today. We won't talk about that though.
Yeah, let's just leave that alone. It was very sweet. Well meant.
Well, I think we'll leave that alone. Also, October 8th is going to be 2 years.
Not far.
Oh, yes, Susie, I got the microphone arms and the these things. I don't remember what you call them. Hey, Kaylin. I lost my train of thought. Yes, so October 8th is going to be the 2-year anniversary of everything. My dog's fixing to start barking. He hears his friend outside. Don't you do it.
Oliver.
What was I saying?
You're talking about the 2-year thing, and it's coming up, and it's going to be a landmark kind of thing.
Where's Bailey? They don't make bird-sized mics, but if I ever upgrade, I will mic him. This little mixer only does 2 microphones, but if I get super famous, and we'll rig Bailey up something.
Maybe you can find him a little chicken headset.
You want to say hey?
Hmm.
Come on. You want to step up? You want to step up?
He's fighting, but he's about to lose his mind.
Oliver?
Yeah.
What else? Oh, October 8th was your parents' wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So most of the people that are in this chat, I'm sure, people that I can see, knew about that comment where somebody was like, you're still making money off your accident or whatever. But even I'm not saying that comment like made me change my mind in any way, because I was already thinking about when I'm done with like the podcast of telling my story and everything that's happened, what do I want my channel to be? Because I feel like people who are really successful on YouTube, they like their channel is mainly like one thing, but there's so many different things I want to do. I want to talk to people. I want to do crochet stuff. I want to do camping stuff. Do y'all see? Bailey's trying to bite Oliver's tail. Look.
We have a very diverse household.
Oliver's going to think, damn it, when Bailey bites it. That was funny. But I can't remember her name, and I didn't tell you this, but there's this one person that's been begging me to make crochet content. And I have thought about it, but like crochet is like the one thing that I'm scared to turn that into a job, because it'll take the fun out of it. But then I thought, well, what if I do it, but I do it my way, like tell the dirty jokes and not be so,
Well, I would say just keep it fun, but even more so, anybody that's actually wanting those videos, show them particular things that they might be interested in. Make a whole drawn out thing.
Well, I haven't done that because there's like so many crochet YouTubers. That's all they do, because that's how I learned to crochet on YouTube. But see, this is one reason I don't like lives, because I say a lot, and when I'm editing, I just cut out all of them. Taco Hamill, are you the one that keeps mentioning the crochet? I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell. I get excited. Are you the one that keeps? Oh, she said I am. Cool. That's funny. Make a new channel for your hobbies. It's a lot of work making a YouTube channel and like getting it monetized and stuff. So I don't know.
I wish you would discuss that a little bit though, because I've still been struggling with that person saying that to you.
You want me to discuss the comment?
No, the monetized. Yes, you receive a few bucks here and there, but the comment about it making money off it makes it sound like you're drawing like a car payment a month or something off of it, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about a minuscule amount of money. So that bothers me a bit that was said. But anyway, it's neither here nor there.
It's probably the same. Issue. It's probably the same person that I got one little fan out there that every time I post anything, doesn't matter what it is, they immediately hit the thumbs down button and it's consistent. Like as soon as I post it, they hit the thumbs down button. It's kind of funny. So,
well, like I said, that's really neither here nor there, but it struck a chord with me because I know how much effort you put into all this, and I know your purpose for doing it. And for somebody to attack you about it because of monetarily, that's an issue for me. So,
well, I will say that first I was pissed. No, first I laughed, then I was pissed, and then it was that night when I was trying to go to sleep, I like did some serious self-reflection, like, but and I don't think that's a bad thing, but I did some serious self-reflection, like, does this look bad? Can it be perceived? Like, I just like really looked at everything and kind of reassured myself that no, I'm not. It would be different if it was a scam somehow, but it's not.
And, you know, I guess at the end of the day, if you can make peace with it, then I'm fine with it. But that's the one thing that's happened since you've been doing this, that guy next to me, because I know where this came from. I know how it goes day in and day out. And that was uncalled for.
And I'm sure you can see, like, because you live with me, you see how happy or excited I get, or like the effort, the creative process, and you see the good that it's done for me mentally.
Well, I see the good it's done for some others too, and that was the ultimate goal when you going into this. But I don't do well with the personal attacks on you. It's just how it is.
Well, that's why I talked to my therapist before I did a YouTube channel. Hookers Unite, yes. Taco's crocheting a blanket. I'm crocheting a blanket right now too. It's over there on the couch. Yes, Susie, there's definitely a stalker. Cassidy. Okay, Cassidy says she wants to learn how to crochet, but she's left-handed. So I'm actually left-handed, but I crochet right-handed because I'm weird.
Nothing normal.
And when I was thinking about starting, like, doing some kind of crochet content, there's going to have to be a disclaimer in there that's like, look, I crochet right-handed. If you're left-handed, you're screwed. I'm trying to not cuss too much. But if you're left-handed, I don't know how to teach you. And that's got to suck to be a left-handed crocheter. Yeah, there's definitely left-handed teachers out there. I'm just not one of them. Writing poetry gives me a purpose. That's good. I like that, Kaylin. Robin, did you mean Chat GPT? Susie says, Lee, I owned a small newspaper and made enemies, but if they attacked my family or friends, I lost my shit.
Well, I don't feel quite so guilty then. Thank you.
Linda says she'll have to watch later. This internet is terrible. So is it terrible on our end? Is it?
Most likely.
Asking, is everybody having trouble with it? Marie says she was a knitter until she started having problems with her fingers. Okay. Y'all, this is why I don't do more lives, because y'all have been around and heard me fuss and fuss, but I meant to call them again today and I forgot. But the last time I spoke to the company with the internet, they told me to call back mid-September. They were waiting on like a drill or something, but the company is in town laying fiber optic cables. We're just waiting on them to get it at my house.
And we're not talking about a months-long project either. The line stops 300 yards shy of our driveway.
And then when I get the fiber optic internet, I'm going to get a StreamYard subscription, which is, I think it's like $20 a month, but it's a streaming service. So you can video like this, but you can also share like your computer screen and like highlight comments and stuff like that. So, oh, thank you. Oh, she's Busy Bee, that's cute. I like that. Busy Bee says she makes macrame dog leashes.
Oh, wow.
I made a couple of macrame plant hangers. That's my problem. I get interested in something and I've got jewelry stuff all over the house, macrame rope all over the house.
I actually moved a spool of macrame rope today.
And then I've got, of course, yarn everywhere and crochet hooks everywhere.
What's up, chicken?
Let's see what else. I don't see Taylor in here. The other thing. So I've been putting out a podcast every week, but I feel like I've told most of the story. I think the next podcast I do, maybe talk about some of the things that I've learned, the good things that have come from it, because I talk a lot about the bad stuff. But then after that, I feel like it's kind of, where do I go now?
Well, that's a good question to ask on your live. Let the people that are interested in seeing your stuff lead you. What would you like to hear? What do they want to know?
I did that recently, and that's when Taco Hamill crochet.
Awesome.
I had one subscriber get mad when, I don't remember what video it was, but she said, "It's a shame you were like this. This could have been a good crochet channel."
That's cute.
What was that other comment I got? So I'll tell you about some of the funny comments I get. Yeah, he is being quiet, probably because he's content right now. If I left,
fluffed out he is.
If I left the room, he would start screeching. But I had, what was the comment I was thinking about?
Oliver.
You
want me to just let him out?
Somebody got mad about the podcast episode where I was talking about how I felt like a sack of meat. And she got so offended because I referred to it as a sack of meat. And I don't know, she was mad at me because she called me an animal hater or something because I said I felt like a sack of meat. It was really bizarre. And then, what was the other one? There's been a few. There was one, a long one. I sent it to Ellen. There was a long one about how I have so much hate in my heart, and how dare I, like that short I did where I was like flipping the bird to the haters or whatever. She said that's what it was. She said she was so appalled she said that she was so appalled to find that I had memberships, and she said that I would tell a story on here, but then only tell the end of the story to my members. And she was,
I know better than that.
She was so appalled. And I was like, I've not done that once. So I don't know. Oh, Ellen, oh my God, that was awful and sick. That person was a wacko and mean. Yes, she was. Oh, there's Taylor. Hey, Taylor. So, Taylor, you and I are going to Zoom outside of this and talk about whatever. So don't feel pressured to like interact if you don't want to. But if you have any questions or anything you want to say or tell us about yourself on here, please feel free. And I would love to learn more, but we're definitely going to Zoom sometime this
We
weekend.
both want to know more
Yeah.
about your situation, what's going on, and how it's going.
Yeah. So I would be interested to know, like, are you in a wheelchair right now? I know you're not paralyzed. Are you walking around a little bit? I did look at your TikTok and I never saw like a halo, so that's good. But I would imagine right now you are in quite a bit of pain and frustration and scared and all of that. She's in a wheelchair now. So will you be able to walk, Taylor? Or you're not paralyzed, are you? I could be wrong, but I didn't.
I thought we saw a video of her standing.
I think we did too. I don't want to make too many assumptions, but Joanne says, "You are my first ever survivor I have known on internal decapitation." Joanne, are you a nurse? Have you taken care of other internal decapitations? Taylor says that yes, she will be able to walk.
All right.
That's good.
That's wonderful.
Have you been to any sort of rehab? And again, we can talk about all this on Zoom. So, but based off what I saw from your TikTok, it looks like you are 18 because it looks like she just graduated high school, and hopefully you have a good support system. Taco says, if I had my own crochet channel, I'd probably name it Rolling Hookers. So years and years ago, I had, when I started getting good at crochet and started selling stuff, I made a name for my shop, and I loved it, but it was called Hats and Crap. Taylor said, I've had a minor setback. I got released from rehab and was able to walk, and now I can't. Has this ever happened to you? No, that hasn't happened. Do you have like a incomplete spinal cord injury? Do you have spinal cord problems? Joanne's a nurse of 17 years, worked in the ER, 4 years at Major Trauma Center.
Wow.
Let's see. Joanne's a nurse. Most don't survive from scene of accident. That's what we were told to. Yeah, I don't think you hear. It's funny how many people never even heard of internal decapitation, but that's because most of them die. So you don't hear much about
including Taylor, in the last 2 years, you've met, talked to, heard about 8, 9, maybe?
I don't know.
Including the survivors group from UAB, but you know that's not much of a number, 8 or 9. But when you take something that is so violent and ending, and then in 2 years you hear of 8 or 9 that have survived, I mean, that seems like that's a good thing.
Yeah. Taylor said she's not sure. I have about 3 arm MRI scheduled for this upcoming week because they are a concern. Do you have a good support system at home, like your parents? Hopefully you have help. That's another thing. I'm scared like somebody's going to come to me and, oh, I'm in this situation and I have nobody. And like, what do you?
I don't know how you'd even begin to do that.
No,
it would be almost inhumane to send someone home without a support system. I mean, if you can't stay in progressive rehab, at least do nursing home type rehab until things iron out, because it's not something you can do and overcome on your own.
No, I actually had home health for
months.
Yeah, when I came home, home health came out. I didn't even know home health did stuff on like young people, but home health would come out and
even so, I was still home for another month after you came home.
mm-hmm. Taylor said she's on home health too. I do have a good support system. I just don't think they understand sometimes the pain I'm in isn't over exaggerated. So I'm going to tell you how I felt, wondering how you're feeling. So I did see a picture of her fusion. She's fused base of the skull. I think she said down to C4. So hers is longer than mine. But I remember telling Lee over and over that it feels like I have a fence post stuck in my neck.
And that statement started almost as soon as she woke up and was able to communicate with me.
Yeah. It felt like you could feel that there's something foreign in there, and it felt like somebody just like shoved a fence post in the base of my skull. But so I'm coming up on 2 years, still in quite a bit of pain. But recently, I haven't got to tell them this yet. I did a day of my life video, and I was talking about like that day I had done a lot that day, and my neck was really wore out on me, and I was in a lot of pain. I was struggling that day. But since then, just those neck pillows you see people wear for like in the car, I've started sleeping like on my regular pillow, but also that neck pillow. And oh my gosh, has it not?
We've been together for 12 years. She's never been a calm, still sleeper. In the last 2 weeks, we say goodnight to each other. She'll turn over on her back and put that neck pillow on. And when I get up to go to work the next morning, she hasn't moved. She's still laying there casket style. Has been that way all night long. So it's made quite a difference for her.
Yes, I finally found a position to sleep that is not excruciating. And that has been such a good relief from the pain.
It affects your daily mood as well, too. You feel better when you get up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm mad when you let me sleep too late. He's letting me sleep too late. I don't like to like. I'm not a morning person. I've never been a morning person, and I want to be somebody that gets up at 7, 8 o'clock and feels great, but I'm just not. And he will let me sleep too long, and then I feel like I've lost half my day, and I'm all discombobulated. But I'm trying to get up earlier. But he's not helping me with that.
I will get better eventually. I got 23 years worth of sleep I need to catch up on right now. If you're asleep, I can sleep.
Is it just because of the pressure with the hardware? Yes, the hardware. So I had hardware in my leg too, and I never felt anything with that. But the hardware in the neck, you can feel that it's there. It definitely doesn't feel like a part of your body. So you're constantly like walking around with feeling like you've got a fence post for a neck. And so I imagine Taylor, if she's not, Taylor may still be in a hard collar. I don't know, but I had a C collar I had to wear for like 4 months, but that's as far as I can't turn my neck any more than that. So
I felt bad for her. We went to our nephew's ball games last night, and she was sitting between her sister and myself. She wanted to talk to us. She had to turn at the shoulders, and midway through that, I'm sorry for her because you got to noticing it was an effort to turn. And I thought, maybe we need to do something different next time.
Yeah, I don't like trying to talk to somebody that's sitting beside me. I have to be at an angle. Let's see. Okay, Amy says, sorry about the person. Okay, Amy, I missed it. Let me see what Amy said. I don't see your comment, Amy. apparently I missed it, so you'll have to ask again. Let's see. Is it one of the generic neck pillows? Yes, it's actually a hard memory foam pillow from Bucky's.
She had a really nice soft one that she'd had for years, and it got ruined when they were drilling the shunt bedside. It had betadine all over it and all. There was no way to clean it. And traveling back and forth every day, I mean, most of your Walmarts are kind of off the interstate or whatever. So I just thought I got everything else. I ran in Bucky's the night I was buying gas. And yes, they actually had one. It has their logo all over it and everything. But I almost didn't buy it because it's firm to the touch. But if you hold on to it, it is memory foam. It'll collapse on. Either she's finally getting used to it, or it's old enough now it's starting to get a little softer. But
No, I
that
just
was
think
just all I could find at the time.
I think it's just what's comfortable for me right now. Okay, Taylor said she's still in a hard collar. Taylor said, yeah, I'm still in a hard collar. She would try the devil's lettuce, but in the accident, my lungs collapsed on top of being trached, so my voice is abnormal and I don't have the best breathing. I have something to tell you about that. Amy, it was about how did your other family members deal with your... Okay, I'm going to answer Taylor's question first, then I'll answer Amy's. Taylor, the voice thing, I thought that my voice change was from the trach, but so my voice is deeper now and I can't, like that falsetto voice, I can't sing anymore. I can't change the pitch of my voice anymore. And my neurosurgeon said that was because the cranial nerves were damaged, because with the internal decapitation, everything is stretched. And so the nerve that controls my voice was damaged. And that's why my voice is different. So your situation may be different. I don't know. But your voice, if it's like mine, your voice may just be changed forever, which is I mean, considering that we're here and functioning is a very minor in the grand scheme of things, but it is super frustrating because, like, if I get startled and I scream, I sound like a goat.
Or a duck.
I don't sound human. It's terrible. I hate it. It's actually borderline. Like last night we were at the ball field for my nephews. My nephews are playing baseball and we went to their games last night and I was yelling for my nephew Waylon, and I hate the sound of my voice. It gets real gravelly and raspy and just super annoying. So unfortunately, your voice change may be a side effect of that. I don't know, but Taylor says I was intubated like an emergency code blue. They hit my vocal folds during intubation. I have no voice. The minute I cry or try to yell, there's absolutely no sound. Interesting. Okay, Amy said, let's see about your other family member. How do my family members deal with your injury, hospitalization, and recovery? Well, my dad understandably was pretty traumatized because he was there and he found me and thought I was dead and had to see me during all of that. So my dad was really traumatized, and I would say he still is. He still doesn't really talk about it. He'll talk about it with me, but like he's just, to see me doing well, I think is what's helping him.
He doesn't even openly discuss it with me.
But everybody else, I mean, my mom, I think mom came on like Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids, it was really downplayed to them. They never knew how bad it really was.
Until you got home.
I think they were told that I was in a wreck and I had some broken bones, and that was all they were told. So, hi, lady. Hi, Lee. I watched your new podcast on YouTube today. Totally unbelievable. Thank you. Yes, it was very heartbreaking for my dad and Lee. But
onward and upward.
I think that's, like, I don't like if I had to choose to go through that again or to be on the other end of it, I honestly don't know. Like, they're both, I can't even, anyways. And I think I would be terrible as a caregiver. Not terrible as a caregiver, but terrible in your shoes. And I'll tell you what I base that off of. One, you were present for, but when Brittany was having Waylon, my sister, when she was having my nephew, I was in the room and she was in labor and the contractions were painful. I was just over there just boo-hooing. It killed me to see her in pain. So I don't know that I could. And then the other thing was when Grayson ran into the...
Yeah, that was funny. Bless his heart.
My youngest, when he was probably
8, maybe.
No, I think he was more like 6 or 7, but he was running in my apartment full speed and he was looking behind him while he was running, and then he turned around and he ran into, there was a corner that was like jutted out.
Yeah, an exposed corner,
and it cut his face open from here all the way. Like, it was...
Bless his heart, like he'd been struck by lightning.
It was bad. And at the time, I was a critical care paramedic, and I was holding him in my lap, and he was screaming, and I was crying, and I was calling Lee and going, I don't know what to do. No medical.
He's screaming, step one. We're in good shape there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Linda. Well, that's good to know because my internet's pretty crappy.
Mm-hmm.
How was having a halo? I was fortunate to not. Please read that. Please read the entire question. It's difficult to get what's being said. Okay, what are you referring to? Being in a halo was terrible. I find it interesting that I was in a halo and you weren't. I wonder what the reason is. I do remember my neurosurgeon saying that, or you telling me that he said they usually only leave people in halos for 48 hours.
4 to 5 days top.
4 to 5 days, and I was in mine for 6 weeks.
6.5 weeks.
Yeah, it was awful. I don't really remember pain, but I just remember like you can't move, not even a...
And they said one of her biggest problems, this is someone who was a paramedic, used to ride in the back of an ambulance, who had chronic motion sickness trying to do her job. And the doctors and the nurses told me anyone in a halo has a constant experience of weightlessness or falling because they have no control over the weight of their head. So that sensation, your body's regulatory effect of the weight of your head is gone. So you basically feel like you're floating. And then that was part of her horror story because she already had problems with vertigo and motion sickness. So 6.5 weeks in a halo was 4.5 to 5 weeks of constant 7, 8, 10 times a day of vomiting, which led to the reason she absolutely could not be alone because, vomiting and you figure if you got the sweat and everything of wearing this padded halo collar that you've all seen, and that's not something you take off every day and wash it out and put new pads in it and put it back on. It stays there. So it took everything we could do to keep bad stuff from happening down inside that halo. Well, that leads to a funny story later on, but she didn't realize it at the time in ICU. But by the 4th week, maybe the 5th, when you got to the nurse's desk outside of her room, you could smell the halo. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. We had all done our very best with it. Well, fast forward 2.5 more weeks, she goes to rehab, and I stay with her the first night and the next day. And then her dad comes in, and the whole time she's there, she's complaining about how bad she don't want to be in this nasty place. It stinks. She can't stand it. Well, she just keeps on and on and on. And by the 3rd day, I mean, she's getting ugly with people. I don't want to be here. This is nasty. And we finally figured out it was her halo and the pads around her trach that she was smelling. And she thought it was nasty bedding in a nasty room and everything. So the halo really complicated her experience.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Not fun.
Taylor says, oh my God, I'm so glad you mentioned vomiting. I vomit every morning. Does it stop? Well, my vomiting was from vertigo and then hydrocephalus. So I don't know why you would be vomiting in the morning. Maybe could it be pain medicine? I don't know. That seems like something you should definitely mention to your neurosurgeon. Either call the office, if they have like a patient portal, send a message, especially if you have like a headache and you're vomiting. So please don't tell me you have a headache. Hopefully you don't have a headache and vomiting. But yeah, that sounds like something you need to let your neurosurgeon know. Maybe they need to scan your head again. I'm sorry, Kavita. I don't read the whole question because I talk slow and it's just faster for me to read it to myself. Anyways, okay. What else? Actually, I had some notes, and I think we've covered everything I had in my notes. So, but, well, I guess the only other thing I had, hey, Brandy, I've been a silent watcher for a little while now. I just wanted to say, oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Brandy says she's been watching for a while, but this is her first live.
Cool.
Kavita, I assume, I mean, most people are reading the comments, so I'm sorry. I just talk slow and I read faster, and it's just faster to kind of mumble through it because I guess I just assume that people are reading the comments just like I am. So if not, I apologize.
Well, if it helps any, I'm kind of like you. I'm getting bits and pieces of it as well because
you're not reading.
I don't see well. So even with my glasses on from where I'm at, I couldn't read it either. So I'm just along for the ride like you are.
But when we were, y'all can't see it. So that I've got like these big lights back here, and I've got my camera back there, and all the audio stuff. And I was thinking, man, I've come a long way from that first video with just a GoPro.
Yeah. I thought you did your first one with your cell phone and a tripod. That tripod, as a matter of fact, I thought.
No, I did that. The very first video. Yeah, because remember I crocheted that mandala for Casper. got the money for it, and that's how I bought the GoPro.
Right. Okay. Casper.
Taylor says, it comes with headaches and neck pain. I will contact the surgeon, and they prescribe me Zofran, but I always throw it up in the morning with pills. Yes, you need to definitely contact your neurosurgeon. Red says, I have been watching since the beginning and I haven't said anything either. You give me hope after having a bilateral hip replacement 4 years ago with complications and more surgeries. I'm 46. You're too young for 2 hip replacements.
Wow.
Thank you, Megan.
I would like to address something to Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor, please remember.
You can. The camera's over there.
I know. Please remember. You are suffering from something that is extremely rare, and most doctors, neurosurgeons, nurses, they've never dealt with anyone that survived it, and even if they have, it hasn't been a few. So be very diligent in telling them how you feel, what is wrong. Make sure your family expresses what they see, what's different, what changes from day to day, if not hour to hour. Because I was with Christy almost every minute of the 3.5 months, minus some night shifts. Be diligent. Tell them what's different, what's changing, what's going on, because they don't have a lot of experience to base it on. They want to know what's going on as much as you do. So tell them anything that's different. Tell them.
Anytime I send a message to my neurosurgeon, he reads it immediately. Like, he wants to know if I hiccup.
And more often than not, he doesn't respond via text or email. He calls.
Yeah.
If something has changed.
He's called me on the phone several times. In fact, I'll answer the phone. He'll say, "Hey, it's Jake." Don't he?
Such an awesome human being.
Yeah. But you, because of your injury, are now VIP in your neurosurgeon's office. So don't hesitate to call and ask and tell them anything. Let's see. Red says, I have an AVN from being a severe asthmatic from 10 to 22 years old, being hospitalized numerous times, almost dying 2 times. The AVN was caused from prednisone. Kativa says, Christy, I am disabled. My whole life changed. I am bedbound and in severe pain. Watching your journey helps me in a way I can't explain. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, sometimes I feel like my words are inadequate to people. Like, someone that's bedbound and in constant pain, I'm a fixer. I want to, so I always, sometimes people just need to talk, right? They don't necessarily need you to do anything. And that's me. I don't necessarily need anybody to do anything, but there's stuff I want to say, which is kind of why I started the YouTube channel. And it's hard to hear. I want to, people just, Kavita, people like you and some others, I want to make things better somehow, and I don't know how or that I can.
Even if it's just being the sounding board. Yell at me.
I feel like I'm really good at, somebody can tell me stuff, and I've gotten better about, instead of saying, well, have you tried this? Instead of doing, because I think that's a normal reaction, but instead of doing that, I think I've gotten better at, that really sucks. And I'm sorry. And I also have to remind people, like, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just somebody that's been through a lot, but I've also been very, my recovery, and I do realize that not everybody has had as good of an outcome as I have. And I don't ever want to, I don't know. I have
overshadow those people.
Yeah. Because I can't, I say I can't imagine, but I can because I've been there. I just got better.
I would like to see you not only not overshadow those people, but through your lives and things, bring them out to other people, because even though you and I probably don't know what to say, maybe there's somebody watching this that does, that can help that person.
Yeah. Taylor says, I will keep that in mind. I realized once they told me I was 1 out of 5 who've survived at Kaiser with this injury, I realized I didn't have much experience on my accident. Taylor says, you're very helpful in this situation.
That's wonderful.
Did you hiccup a lot in the very beginning of the recovery process of the accident? No, I don't. So I was kind of making a joke when I said my neurosurgeon wants to know if I hiccup. But no, I didn't actually have hiccups. Now, girl, this is something Taylor, this is for you. This is something you need to know. If it has not happened yet, it's going to happen, and it is going to be a religious experience of the worst kind. But the first time you sneeze, you're going to die. You're
going to think you are.
Even 2 years later, when I sneeze, it is kind of funny.
All I can do is just grab her and hug her until she feels better about it, because the sneezes are god awful.
The sneezing. Hey, Mary. The sneezing is absolute torture. I'm interested to know, have you sneezed yet? It's kind of like, I know she's only 18, so I don't think she's been through this, but it's kind of like that first poop after childbirth. It's like that times 1,000. Let's see, let me go back and read. Susie says, I've had chemo weekly for a year. I use these sniff things like the Vicks ones for colds, but mine says chemo on them. They get rid of my nausea, even if only long enough to be able to take my meds. I'm so sorry that you're going through that, Susie.
Me too. And if it gets where that doesn't work, try cotton balls with isopropyl alcohol on.
Taylor,
I just learned that a few weeks ago.
Taylor says, no sneeze yet, just coughs. LOL, I'm worried now. You should be.
You put it well. It will be a religious experience.
When you feel a sneeze coming, grab your neck and just, oh God.
Or if you have your collar on, just tighten it up.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the sneeze is going to make you want to pass out. It is. I'm sorry to be laughing at it because I'm thinking about myself and the sounds that I make when I sneeze. What do I do?
We still haven't identified some of those sounds. I don't know.
There's like this.
It's funny.
There's like this visceral animal sound that comes out in me when I sneeze because, so like my neck now, and Taylor, you may be like this too, or you may be too early on to really tell, but my neck now is like everything is like tight, like a guitar string. And so when I laugh, all my neck muscles will like spasm and the sneezing. Oh God, I can't. Oh, bless your heart.
The best way I can describe it, and this is not to be mean, I hope I don't get any ugly comments on this, but it sounds like you were walking around in the dark and actually tripped over and stepped on a goat, and it finishes with a squeal at the end. So it's terrible.
Surprised Bailey hasn't figured out the noises you make when you sneeze and repeat them. Me too. There's a lot of noises. I'm surprised he hasn't repeated yet. Taylor says, thank you so much. I'm so glad I reached out to Chris. He's helping so much. I hope I can help others someday. You will. Like I said, me and you, I'm going to email you back later tonight and you let me know when this weekend you want to do a Zoom, and we will do a Zoom and talk about. There's lots of things to talk about with. There's lots of things to talk about, and I'm very happy to do that with you. And also, there's like 4 or 5 other people internally decapitated that I've connected with recently, and I've not been good about getting back to all of them. So I think what I'm going to do is contact them and get everybody's email, and maybe we can start like I can start doing like maybe a little email newsletter or something where we can all
see what they have to offer.
Where we can all like communicate a little bit, because there's just not a lot of us. So to find somebody that's been through the same thing is difficult. So, and it's kind of scary when like if you break a hip and have a hip replacement or something, like you kind of know what to expect based off of literature and so many other people. But like with our stuff, there's nobody or very few people you can follow to know what to expect, and that is kind of
with
scary.
The people that have fractured hips, or the lady that commented a while ago about having the dual hip replacements, being able to talk to someone that's been through the same thing, that is ultimately her purpose for this, is to try to help someone like yourself, have someone to talk to. Is like, okay, that's not necessarily how this is going to be, but this is how it was for me, and here's some things to look out for. So
I'm trying to think if there's anything else she needs to know right now besides the sneezing. Let's see. I absolutely love your beautiful camp van / trailer. Unsure of correct name. My retirement dream also here in Queensland, Australia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we call it a camper, but most people, like a lot of people, call them
RV.
Yeah, they either say RV or travel trailer, but here in the South, we just call it a camper.
And there are several companies that make extremely nice, I think they call them down there, caravans. I wish I could think of the name of one of them right off the top of my head, but it is Australia's version of America's Airstream. And they're very hard for us to come. What is it? The black camper is the one I'm talking about that we looked at?
I don't remember.
Anyway, I think that's where they originated, is Australia, and they are fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the name of them, though.
The
real rugged ones.
Yeah, look up Caravan. The black should take you where you need to go, but those things are fantastic. I would love to have had one.
Melinda says, Christy, I'm Melinda, and I have watched since the beginning. You went to school with my daughter, Brittany. I'm so glad you're doing well. Is it which Brittany? Is it Brittany Falk, her mom? I don't think her mom's name was Melinda. What was Brittany's last name? Do you watch Einstein here on YouTube? He's also an African gray parrot. Yes, I've seen Einstein, but my favorite bird video is not a gray. I think it's a macaw. But y'all know that song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. He sings that. It's amazing. So, Brittany Martin, that sounds familiar. I think, was she a year back? Did she graduate in 2002? That's what year I graduated. Seems like she was 2003. Anyways, when we get off this live, just trust me, Google bird bodies hit the floor and watch that video. It's amazing.
Floor. He's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Marybelle says, I remember when you mentioned the bodies hit the floor on a live before. It was I thought I had mentioned that before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do remember her. I graduated in 2002, so she was a year behind me, but I do remember, she was in the band, wasn't she? I think she was in the band or on the dance line or something. I could be wrong, but it's been
Hey,
a
chicken,
long,
pay attention.
long time. I remember when I graduated high school thinking, I'm never going to forget these people. And now I can't remember a lot of them. But anyways, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I can picture her. I remember her. I hope she's doing well. But so we've been at it now for over an hour. Lee is getting antsy. So if y'all have any last minute questions for Lee, now's your time because he's trapped. I could play a really funny joke on Lee right now and just get up and walk away.
Yeah, right.
He would die.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little suspense in life. They wonder where we both went.
I thought about that earlier. I thought, I'm like, if Bailey flies away and I got to go catch him, you're going to be sitting there.
Stay tuned. We will return.
If you tow it behind a car, it's a trailer. If it's in the back of a truck, it's a fifth wheel. If you drive it, it's a motorhome. I live in my motorhome still. Yeah, we just, here in the South, we just dumb it all down to it's a camper.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of camper? Oh, it's a fifth wheel or whatever. Kind of like we drink Coke. Well, what kind of Coke? Well, a Sprite.
Yeah.
Lee, do you plan to crochet now that you're partially retired?
Absolutely not. Prior to my career in emergency services, I worked at a textile mill, cutting textiles, and my fingers and wrists, the ligaments are shot. So absolutely not. But a funny thing is, my stepdad was what the world would consider a roughneck. He changed tires for a living. You could light a match in the palm of his hand. He talked like this. He smoked 5 packs of cigarettes a day. He crocheted clowns. He would crochet them and pass them on to my mom, and she would stuff them and put them up for sale. And with that, I often thought about it, but with the pain and all I have in my hands now, no, I'll never do that.
Ow.
Don't be a
step
jerk.
Up.
Don't be a jerk.
Come here. Can you say something? Can you say something? Give me a kiss. I love you. I love you. Whistle at him. You're not going to talk.
Roll.
He said, where's the whiskey?
You drank it all. Would you stop saying that?
Roll Tide. He's got stage fright.
Yeah, he's camera shy.
You're both amazing people, and it shows from both of your careers. You both are so loving, kind, friendly, and caring. Keep it up. We need more people like you. Taylor, thank you for helping me. I'll be waiting on your email about the Zoom. Yes, I'll definitely be emailing you back. I'm not good. Sometimes I actually sent you a DM on Instagram, but it probably went to your message request or spam folder or something, but I'll email you when we get done. You want to tell them night-night? Say night-night. Tell them. Say night-night. What is it? What is it? You got to whisper. Can you whisper? Can you whisper?
Crackhead.
Shh, you got to be quiet.
You crackerhead.
All right. Tell them you love them. Say I love you. Bailey got stage fright tonight.
Yeah. Normally he won't shut up.
But yeah, we'll see y'all soon. And when I get better internet, hey, you little shithead.
That's where he wanted to be all night.
That's
kind of like showing your butt there, Bailey.
Yeah. Why is your butt red? Anyways, thank y'all for being here with us, and hopefully y'all have a good weekend. And I'm going to stay on top of this internet business because I do like doing some lives every now and then. I would like to do some more just for like members and stuff too. But anyways, thank y'all. We love y'all too. And we will see y'all very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.